Picture yourself standing on the windswept cliffs of North Wales, the air thick with the tang of salt, and the sound of the restless Irish Sea crashing below. The horizon here, once the domain of seabirds and fishing boats, is on the verge of a transformation so profound that it could redefine not just the landscape, but the very future of Britain's energy. In the next few years, this expanse will host a colossal engineering marvel, a project that has sparked both hope and heated debate, drawing the attention of governments, engineers, environmentalists, and local communities alike. This is the story of the Mona offshore wind farm, a venture that encapsulates the United Kingdom's ambitions, anxieties, and aspirations as it races toward a greener tomorrow. The United Kingdom's journey into offshore wind began at the dawn of the 21st century, a time when concerns over carbon emissions and energy security loomed ever larger. The British Isles, battered by North Atlantic gales and perched at the edge of Europe, seemed perfectly positioned to harness the kinetic energy of the sea wind. By the mid-2000s, the first turbines began to sprout from the shallows of the North Sea, marking a quiet revolution in the nation's approach to power generation. Over the past 2 decades, this revolution has accelerated at an astonishing pace. Today, the United Kingdom boasts more than 45 operational offshore wind farms, stretching from the Scottish Highlands down to the English Channel. These wind farms collectively generate enough clean electricity to power over 12 million homes, slashing millions of tons from the nation's annual carbon output. The scale is staggering. Sleek white towers, some standing taller than the London Eye, their blades sweeping circles wider than a football field, have become icons of a new industrial age. But the government's ambitions do not end there. In a nation still grappling with the legacy of coal and the volatility of global gas prices, policymakers have set a bold target. By the year 2030, the United Kingdom aims to quadruple its offshore wind capacity to 60 gigawatts. To put that into perspective, that is enough energy to power every home in Britain twice over, and then some. This surge is central to Britain's commitment to achieving net zero carbon emissions by the year 2050, a promise that carries both technological promise and political peril. Enter the Mona offshore wind farm, a project that stands as both a testament to British ambition and a lightning rod for controversy. With an estimated cost of £4.8 billion, Mona is not just another wind farm. It is, in many ways, a symbol of the challenges and opportunities that define the green transition. Approved by the government in the summer of 2024, Mona will be located entirely within Welsh waters, nearly 30 kilometers from the scenic coast of North Wales. Its perimeter stretches almost 50 kilometers from the English shoreline, and a similar distance from the Isle of Man, making it one of the largest new energy projects in the region. At the heart of Mona's design are 96 state-of-the-art turbines, each a marvel of modern engineering. These are not the windmills of old. Each tower will rise to a height of up to 364 meters, taller than the Eiffel Tower, with rotors spanning 320 meters in diameter. When all turbines are spinning at full capacity, Mona will generate 1.5 gigawatts of electricity, enough, according to project leaders, to power more than 1 million British homes. The sheer scale is breathtaking. Imagine blades, each longer than a passenger jet, silently carving through the air above the rolling waves. The Mona project is not just about hardware. It is a collaboration between BP, the British energy titan known for its oil legacy, and EnBW, a German utility with deep expertise in renewable infrastructure. This partnership brings together decades of experience in both conventional and green energy, signaling a broader shift among global energy giants toward renewables. Engineering for Mona is being led by Kent, a company with a storied history in offshore design, while a host of British and European suppliers are lined up to contribute to the project's construction and operation. To bring all that electricity ashore, a complex web of cables will be laid beneath the Irish Sea, snaking their way toward a landfall point near Llandulas in North Wales. From there, underground cables will connect the power to a newly constructed substation in Denbighshire, seamlessly integrating Mona's output into the national grid. This intricate network of infrastructure ensures that the energy harvested from the sea's winds can be delivered directly to the homes and factories that need it most, supporting industry, commerce, and daily life across the United Kingdom. Yet behind the impressive numbers and gleaming towers, Mona's story is one of conflict as much as of progress. While industry groups such as Renewable UK describe offshore wind as essential for reaching net zero and securing Britain's future, Not everyone is convinced that the green path is free from peril. Environmental campaigners, most notably Natural England, warn that the rush to harness offshore wind could come at a steep ecological price. The Irish Sea is a haven for marine life, from seals and dolphins to rare bird species and fragile underwater habitats. The construction and operation of large-scale wind farms, critics argue, risk disturbing these delicate ecosystems, with consequences that could ripple through food chains and local economies. One spokesperson from Natural England put it succinctly: "We must ensure that thriving marine and coastal nature goes hand in hand with low-impact offshore wind energy." This is not just rhetoric. Recent studies have shown that underwater noise from turbine installation can disorient marine mammals, while changes in water flow around turbine bases may alter sediment patterns and disrupt spawning grounds for fish. For coastal communities that rely on fishing and tourism, these risks are not academic. They are matters of livelihood and survival. The economic debate surrounding Mona is equally intense. On one hand, the £4.8 billion investment promises to inject new life into local economies. Thousands of jobs are expected to be created during the construction phase, from engineers and welders to logistics specialists and environmental scientists. Local supply chains, from steelworks in Wales to cable manufacturers in the Midlands, stand to benefit from the project's demand for high-quality materials and skilled labor. Once operational, Mona will require a permanent workforce for maintenance, monitoring, and support, creating long-term employment opportunities in a region that has struggled with industrial decline. On the other hand, some analysts question whether such massive projects can deliver reliable returns in an era of volatile energy markets. The price of electricity, once stable, has become subject to wild swings driven by geopolitical tensions and shifting consumer demand. Government subsidies, which have underpinned the economics of renewable energy for years, are increasingly under scrutiny as public finances come under strain. If policy support wavers or market prices fall, the financial foundation of projects like Mona could be threatened, potentially leaving investors and taxpayers exposed. Integrating vast amounts of intermittent wind energy into the grid adds yet another layer of complexity. Unlike coal or gas plants, which can ramp up output on demand, wind farms produce power only when the wind blows. Balancing supply and demand on a national scale requires advanced forecasting, flexible backup systems, and smart grid technology. Engineers are working to develop new storage solutions, such as large-scale batteries and hydrogen production, to smooth out the peaks and troughs of wind generation. Yet these technologies are still in their infancy, and the path to a fully resilient, renewable-powered grid remains uncertain. So can the Mona offshore wind farm truly reconcile the United Kingdom's bold climate targets with the delicate needs of the natural world and the realities of the global economy? Or is it a risky wager that could become a cautionary tale for the entire green transition? The answers to these questions are anything but simple. Let's delve deeper into the possible futures that Mona could unlock. If all goes according to plan, Mona could emerge as a beacon of innovation and sustainability. Rapid advances in turbine efficiency and floating platform technology may allow future wind farms to harvest even more energy from deeper, harsher waters, minimizing their footprint on the seabed and reducing conflicts with shipping and fishing interests. According to a senior engineer at BP, Mona is a testbed for next-generation technology. If we get it right, the blueprint will ripple across the global industry. Indeed, the lessons learned at Mona could inform the design of future offshore wind farms, not just in the United Kingdom, but as far afield as Japan, the United States, and Brazil, where similar projects are being considered. The successful integration of advanced sensors, artificial intelligence, and real-time environmental monitoring could set new standards for coexistence between energy infrastructure and marine life. Marine biologists working on the Mona project are already deploying underwater microphones to track the movements of dolphins and porpoises, while engineers use drones and satellite imagery to monitor bird flight paths and minimize collision risks. The economic ripple effects could be equally transformative. If energy prices stabilize and government support remains robust, Mona has the potential to stimulate a new wave of investment in British manufacturing and research. Universities across Wales and Northern England are partnering with the project to develop training programs in renewable energy, preparing a new generation of engineers and technicians for the challenges ahead. Local businesses are joining supply chains that stretch from Port Talbot's steel mills to the shipyards of Liverpool, creating a network of expertise that could anchor Britain's green economy for decades to come. However, the road to success is fraught with uncertainties. The debate over marine protection is far from resolved. Environmental groups insist that thriving marine and coastal nature must not be sacrificed in the name of progress. Should local wildlife populations decline, or if unexpected costs escalate due to technical challenges or delays, public and political support for Mona could erode rapidly. In Denmark, for example, fierce opposition to offshore wind projects has at times slowed development, a reminder that social license is as crucial as engineering prowess. Competing interests within the government also add to the complexity. While some policymakers champion rapid expansion of renewables, others worry about the impact on energy prices and the need to maintain a reliable backup supply. The United Kingdom's grid, built during the era of coal and nuclear power, requires significant upgrades to accommodate the variable output of wind farms. Bottlenecks in transmission infrastructure can delay new projects and drive up costs, putting pressure on planners to balance ambition with realism. Globally, the Mona project is being watched as a bellwether for the offshore wind industry. In the past 5 years, countries such as China, the United States, and Germany have poured billions into their own offshore wind programs, each hoping to secure a foothold in the rapidly growing market for green energy technology. The success or failure of Mona will influence investment decisions, regulatory frameworks, and public attitudes far beyond British shores. For the people of North Wales, Mona is a source of both pride and apprehension. Many welcome the prospect of new jobs and a revitalized local economy, while others worry about changes to the seascape, impacts on traditional industries, and the long-term consequences for their communities. Local councils have launched extensive consultation programs, seeking input from fishermen, tourism operators, and residents. Public exhibitions and information sessions have drawn hundreds of participants, reflecting the deep interest and deep divisions that large-scale energy projects can generate. So what does the Mona wind farm mean for you, wherever you live? First, it is a vivid illustration of the broader struggle to transition to clean energy. It shows that technological breakthroughs, while essential, are only part of the solution. Success requires collaboration between government, industry, and civil society, as well as a commitment to environmental stewardship and adaptability in the face of unexpected challenges. As energy consumers, taxpayers, and perhaps future workers in the renewable sector, the choices made at Mona will shape the options available to all of us. Will offshore wind deliver on its promise to provide affordable, reliable, and sustainable power? Or will unforeseen complications undermine the case for large-scale investment in green infrastructure? The coming years will provide crucial answers. Mona's story is also a lesson in the power of balanced innovation. The next leap in green technology will not come from ignoring risks or cutting corners, but from facing challenges head-on, learning from setbacks, and engaging openly with critics and communities. Whether you live on the Welsh coast, in a city powered by wind, or simply care about the future of the planet, the decisions made in projects like Mona will have ripple effects, shaping policy, guiding investment, and influencing the very air we breathe for generations to come. So, can Mona truly balance soaring climate ambition with marine protection and economic sense? The answer, at this stage, is cautiously optimistic. The joint venture between BP and ENBW brings formidable technical expertise and financial resources, but lasting success will require humility, flexibility, and a willingness to listen to environmental stewards and local voices. If Mona succeeds in delivering on its promise, it could become a shining example for the entire world, a model for how to accelerate the green transition without sacrificing the health of our oceans or the well-being of our communities. And here is a fascinating detail you might not know. The Mona site is not just an energy project. It is also a living laboratory. Teams of marine biologists, engineers, and artificial intelligence specialists are working together to monitor undersea habitats in real time. They are developing new techniques to minimize impacts on wildlife, from innovative cable-laying methods that reduce noise to AI-driven monitoring systems that can detect subtle changes in water quality and biodiversity. If these approaches succeed, they could unlock an entirely new chapter in global sustainable energy, offering hope that industry and nature can not only coexist, but thrive together. The Mona project also serves as a platform for international cooperation. Researchers from institutions in Germany, Denmark, and the United States are collaborating with their British counterparts, sharing data and best practices. This spirit of partnership is vital in a world where climate change and environmental challenges know no borders. By fostering open dialogue and joint innovation, Mona could help set new standards for how nations approach complex, transboundary issues. Looking further ahead, the technologies pioneered at Mona could pave the way for even more ambitious projects. Floating wind turbines, capable of operating in waters hundreds of meters deep, are already being tested off the coast of Scotland. Advanced energy storage solutions, such as grid-scale batteries and hydrogen production facilities, may one day allow the United Kingdom to export green electricity to its neighbors, supporting Europe's broader transition to renewables. Of course, the path to this future is not guaranteed. The lessons of history remind us that grand visions can stumble if they fail to reckon with practical realities. In the early days of North Sea oil, for example, optimism sometimes gave way to unforeseen technical hurdles and environmental concerns. The Mona project's leaders are keenly aware of this legacy, emphasizing the importance of rigorous environmental assessment, transparent community engagement, and adaptive management. In conclusion, the story of the Mona offshore wind farm is a microcosm of the world's energy transition, a saga of ambition, innovation, risk, and hope. It is a reminder that the quest for a greener future is not a straight line, but a path marked by tough choices, passionate debate, and the need for balance. Whether Mona becomes a landmark success or a sobering lesson will depend on the ability of all stakeholders to work together, learn from experience, and keep the needs of both people and planet at the heart of decision-making. If you are as fascinated as we are by the unfolding drama of the Mona project, and you want to stay updated on its progress and what it means for energy in your own country, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Do you see Mona as the future of clean energy, or just another costly experiment? What lessons should other nations take from Britain's bold bet on offshore wind?